The camera I'm going to talk about today is a camera I remember well. Back in the end of the 1970s, beginning of the 1980s, I was keen to get a 35mm camera, but they were pricey, £34–40 easily. Remember, I'm trying to think of a comparison. A Mars bar was about 5p, and now a Mars bar is what, £1. So you can see the difference in prices, considerable. The cheapest camera you could actually get was sold by the chemists Boots. Boots in the UK is an enormous chain of chemist shops, and they've had a photographic department in most of their branches. And this camera was the cheapest camera you could buy, and from my memory it was about £11.25, and I'm just taking it out of the box, out of the case, and making sure. I have recently taken a film in this, which was interesting, so I'm just making sure the film's round back. Yes. So here we have the Beirette. And this was a slightly superior Beirette because it's in black. The original model was in a sort of chrome colour. And if we look carefully, we can see made in the DDR, which was the German Democratic Republic, which was East Germany. And this is a camera, I think, that was made by, I think it was a company called Beirette. I'm sure someone will correct me on that. This was a company, this camera was made in the German Democratic Republic of Germany, which was basically East Germany. And it was a camera that was made basically to make revenue. Revenue from the Western countries. It's a camera which reminds me a lot of the Voigtlander V2B, but I have to be honest here, without the quality. It's a plastic body. The lens is a 2.8 45mm lens. We only have 3 shutter speeds. I'll come to that in a moment. So we open the camera round the side here. Everything on the camera is low quality. It's quite a plastic. The back of the camera is plastic. Cartridge goes in there, across there. You'd notice how similar this is to the V2B. Very, very similar, but all in plastic. So load the film right on here. Your gauge is here. Your gauge, your number count, your counter is here. Direct viewfinder through, obviously not through the lens, just a viewfinder here. Now, how the camera works is you obviously set manual focus here. On the side, we have the shutter speeds here, and we have bulb, 30th for flash, 60th, and 125. So shutter speeds are here. And the aperture, which on the top you've got some river symbols of sun, cloud, of sun, semi-sun, cloud, and very cloudy. And that correlates with here the f-stops. So the sun is on f. So the sun is on f16. You can go beyond sun, which is f22. Semi-sun is f11. Cloud is f8. Very cloudy is 5.6. So you can either just use basically what is the sunny 16 rule. You've got the sunny 16 rule basically here in your symbols here. And that is of course for 125 ISO film. 100 would be very similar, and I would use the same settings, to be honest. And that is basically it. You focus here, you aperture and shutter speed, click, and wind on. I must admit, I didn't find this the easiest camera to use because it did seem to have a slight technical hitch. Sometimes it would wind on, sometimes it wouldn't. and I don't know if I've got any images at all. I know when I've used these years ago, the images, to be honest, haven't been very good. But let's see what happened when I actually used this camera. For today's test, I went to Swanage, and it was a really grey day. Actually, it was the 30th of December 2024. The light was not good, but the camera on the whole performed slightly better than I thought it was going to. You can see this pillar here is quite sharp. Some of the images turned out to be really sharp, and some of them not so sharp, like this one here. I think this is typical of basically the shutter speed. Although it's supposed to be 125, 125th, I don't think it is. I think it's slower. But again, this image could be a little bit sharper, but it's not bad. The conditions were dreadful. Now, these taken at the Globe in Swanage, I was really pleased with. And it proved to me, actually, the camera actually has quite a good lens. And I think if I cleaned this camera up a little bit, it could perform really well. I didn't have to do much in Photoshop. So I was actually, to my great surprise, considering how I did not like the camera about 30 years ago, I thought it was quite reasonable. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.